cousin, Veronica.
No!
They're transing the kids. Robots has gone woke.
Oh
my God.
Oh, it's wait.
It's like a one person. Oh my God, it's a blimp.
It's not even a train. Wait, it's not a train.
What?
Why?
What's the point of being on the train? That's hilarious. What's the point? There's so much thrill there.
God.
Oh my God! They brought this guy back from the dead.
He's alive.
He's a zombie.
Dude's real popular. Isn't it kind of awkward though? He's like, y'all tried to steal my organs. Welcome to the Lads AM podcast, a show for those late night ramblings you only get when the rest of the world is asleep. This show is available in both podcast and Let's Play form. Check out our social media to find out how to listen the way you want to. Tonight, we are playing All right, dude. You got stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hold. I'm not gonna hold you back.
You said you want to go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Let him hear. At
Fucking,
least
I'm pausing my
floodgates.
game so that I can go on these rants. All right.
Oh, don't worry. I won't talk about it though.
All right, cool. So let's start off with rant 1. All right.
Rant
So
one.
without giving away where exactly we live, even though I'm sure we've dropped enough hints that people know our exact addresses by now. We live near a city called Lynn.
That is true.
And I remember about a year ago, Dustin, when we finished our road trip, me and you agreed that out of all the places we drove, Boston was the worst.
Yes.
I take that back. Lynn is the worst.
Yeah, it's a suburb of Boston.
No one in Lynn knows how to fucking drive. I've had to drive through Lynn to get to my fucking job now for 2 weeks. And every single time, I've almost been in a car accident like 3 times because people are cutting me off. They're honking their horns at me when I'm fucking stopped at a red light. They're fucking lunatics. And I fucking hate Lynn. Not to mention, my phone makes me take a different route every single morning to get to work because the traffic is so unpredictable in Lynn. But the other day, it had the fucking brilliant idea of having me go past Lynn fucking high school. I was late to work because of all these fucking kids driving their car like idiots.
Can't you just set a route? If you want to take a particular one? Or is it just,
So it
it's
comes
just
up,
the fast,
it comes
it's
up
like
with
the
the fastest route. That was definitely not the fastest route. No shot.
Funny enough, Lynn was named like one of the best to drive cities in Massachusetts.
Fuck off.
That's why.
Dude,
I think like a month ago, I heard people talking about it's like, oh, Lynn is actually has the best drivers in all of Massachusetts.
Yeah, they're good drivers because if you're not a good driver, you're not driving for long. Oh my god, no.
Lynn is rough. I was stuck on I had to go to Lynn to get my uniform, and there was just a whole bunch of traffic trying to get there. So annoying. Lynn
The thing that sucks about Boston is that there's a lot of traffic, and getting in and out of the city is a pain. But like, people know how to drive in Boston. I can't say the same for Lynn.
Sure.
Like, I literally was in a lane today where it's like, this lane is ending, you have to merge right. And I put my right blinker on. I look behind me. There's a little bit of room, so I start making the merge. And the fucking asshole, where I'm trying to merge in front of them, fucking just guns it past me. I'm like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? I'm going 60 miles an hour down on this fucking route, and I have these 3 people who are passing me on the side, which is stupid because in 300 yards is a fucking red light.
Yeah, I always have to beat that guy. That's what driving was like. I have to beat them.
I
They are my
literally,
sworn enemy.
I literally get up to the red light. They're sitting there right in front of me, and I had half a mind to roll down my window and be like, "Wow, you made it so much further than me, champ. Way to go!" Seriously, no one knows how to fucking drive in Lynn.
I mean, you'd know more than I do. I don't know how to drive anywhere.
Yeah.
But so, and it's just like confined to this one area. Like, it's not just like a Massachusetts driver thing.
I mean, the term "masshole" exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Massachusetts isn't known for the best drivers.
That being said,
I still
that being
stand
said-
by.
that being
Like
said, though, I
during
think- sorry, you go on.
during our trip, definitely of all the cities we visited to, Boston was the worst driving experience.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, just Massachusetts was terrible.
Massachusetts in general isn't terrible. Like, besides Lynn and Boston, I can't think of any other city in Massachusetts that I have anxiety driving. Except for maybe Nahant, but that's a separate situation right now.
Yo.
Did we talk about that on the podcast? I think we did, right?
Yeah, we
We
did.
did.
Okay, I was like, fuck Nahant. But no, any other city I've driven in, never had an issue. Salem, fantastic place, love it. Even like Worcester, I think I've driven through Worcester once or twice, and I've never had issues there.
Right.
I don't know.
So okay, Rob, what are you gonna do about it? What? As our friend Dustin says, be the change you want to see in the world. How are we gonna solve this problem?
Oh, I can tell you exactly how I'm going to solve this problem. There's a route that's 2 minutes slower that literally bypasses all of Lynn for me.
Oh, huge! All right,
So
problem solved.
Yeah. I'm
We're just
literally
made-
no longer driving. I don't know if I'm going to drive through Lynn again.
Also doesn't help being a teacher. You're doing all your driving in the preschool traffic and all the post-school traffic.
Honestly, that's not...
Like, I feel like it's just part of it.
Not really. So, especially with post-school traffic, I'm staying late just about every day. So, like, that's just not a thing for me. Like, today was the early... So, the school gets out at, like, around 2:30ish. And today was the first time, I think, out of all the days that I left the school before 3:30.
Okay.
And then as for coming into the school, the traffic hasn't been too bad. A little bit, but nothing crazy. The most annoying thing is, again, driving through Lynn, this is not something about Lynn, this is just something in general, is because that's when the buses would be picking up students, I would sometimes get stuck behind a bus that's like picking up students. You can't pass it, obviously, so that kind of sucks. But I'm not gonna yell at the city of Lynn over that, because that's just how life works everywhere. So yeah, that's my one of two major rants I wanted to go on.
Well, I'm happy that you at least have a solution.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll see how good of a solution it is. Hopefully it won't.
All right, guys, wait until next week, and he complains about this new city he's driving through.
Probably.
So I didn't
Worst
think
city
it could
to
get
drive
much worse. I didn't think it could get much worse. But little do you know.
Like, I like how we already know when that's coming when he posts the new city name in the topics channel. It's like, uh-oh. Driving wasn't great there now, was it?
Dude, I just just type in Andover.
And over.
So yeah, it turns out the actual best way to avoid traffic was just getting my own plane and driving and flying to work every day.
No. The best way to avoid traffic was actually to just fucking make bigger sidewalks and walk everywhere.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, what a crazy
imagine.
idea.
I could tell you for
Safe
one
bike
thing.
lanes, better public transit, what?
I never have to deal with traffic, nor do I have to deal with the rising cost of gas. All I gotta do is probably buy shoes more often than most people.
How often do you buy shoes?
Well, sometimes. Well, sometimes I go through shoes pretty quickly, or like they'll get holes in them pretty quickly. I've also been told that I walk weird, so I think that might be part of it.
That you walk weird?
Yeah, so like they went to the doctors once, and I guess this is the first time anyone actually like told me.
You've only
But-
been to the doctor's once? Damn.
Yeah, in my life.
Yeah, you should go more than once, probably.
Probably. But basically, like, my, like, right foot, like, naturally, like, goes out at, like, an angle.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I was to just stand, like, if someone was just, like, stand here and I wasn't thinking about it, like, my feet wouldn't be perpendicular. Like, my left foot would be forward, and I would just naturally put my right foot, like, angled out, like, 45 degrees. And I've been told that when I walk, I also do that. Like it kind of goes out a little bit. So they said might be one. That might be one reason I just hit weird because it's always like on the same parts of my shoes that I get the holes.
I can tell you this, Matt. I've seen you walking for a decent amount of my life at this point. I've never seen anything where I was like, huh, that's weird.
Well, my mom literally saw me walk from the beginning, and she says me did I do it. So, I mean, she taught me how to do it.
Best, so.
I don't study your walking patterns, so I couldn't tell you.
Damn, I thought you were my friend.
Dude, does that mean I get a couple extra points in the friendship quiz?
You get extra credit on the next one.
Yes.
Hey, math teacher.
Yeah,
Can I ask you something real quick?
No, what's up?
When Matt was talking about if someone told me to just stand still and I wasn't thinking about it, my feet wouldn't be perpendicular. Parallel was the correct thing to say there, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, it'd
Shit.
be parallel.
Matt, you do this every single time you bring it up, and it confuses me so much.
Wait, do I actually get those wrong a lot?
Yes.
Perpendicular is like an intersection.
It's an intersection, yeah. Parallel is never touching.
Parallel is where they're side by side.
Oh yeah,
in D&D one time you were like the NPC. Okay, so he's making his hands perpendicular to each other, and he's moving them further away from. It's like he's calling for a timeout. What do you mean?
The easy way to remember is parallel has the double L's next to each other, which are just like lines that are parallel.
Yeah,
that's the way to remember.
Yeah, here. Let me just take some notes on the quiz I need to take. Oh wait, I don't have to.
No, but you should.
You say it so confidently every single time that I start thinking like, "There's no way I have this wrong."
The funny thing is, Dustin, is that I also heard Matt say his feet perpendicular or whatever.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm just like, I literally looked down at my feet and was like, wait, do I stand with my feet perpendicular?
Are we supposed to be perpendicular?
Like I don't know. One right next to the other feels kind of natural, guys. Like, am I weird?
Well, like
my heel touching the side of my foot. Like I feel like it's supposed to be like that.
Well, like speaking of walking patterns, like something that I do, and this is something that I used to do a lot when I was a kid. Nowadays, I don't do it as much, but I would walk on like my tiptoes basically. So like almost like I was wearing high heels. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Come to find out from my sister that is usually that, or I shouldn't say usually, but that can be a sign of autism.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
So like, continuing the saga of me potentially being an undiagnosed autistic person. So woo,
Yeah.
fun.
I knew a killer was like that, but that was because he was in a car accident.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a physical ailment, it's a separate thing.
Yeah.
I don't really do it much anymore. I pretty much only do it now, like when I'm barefoot. And even
your autism.
Yeah, I don't.
You did it.
Just put your heels to the ground. It's all gone.
Congratulations.
Sure.
We need to talk to doctors about this.
Yeah.
This is major news.
Listen,
Yeah.
the vaccines might give your kids autism, but all you have to do is just put their heels on the ground. They're all good.
I
You don't have to worry about it.
That's not how
Pfizer
that-
made me stand on my tippy toes.
That's what they should do instead of like the stupid fake shaking thing that they always do on TikTok.
Oh
It's
yeah, I know
Look,
what you're talking
I'm on my
about.
tiptoes. I can't put them down.
Oh boy.
Dude, I took the vaccine and like graphs are like really cool now.
Aren't I supposed to be getting another vaccine?
I don't think so. Not that
What do you
I've
mean?
heard of.
I thought I had heard that they had come up with another COVID update or something.
I mean, there's a new COVID going around right now, but
They updated code.
the typical booster would just help with it still. There's like a new strain of COVID going around.
I don't fucking know when the last time I got a booster was.
It's been
Probably
a while for
been
me.
a year. Probably been a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt you to get one.
I
Yeah.
mean, I imagine at this point that you can probably get them when you visit with your primary care physician, right?
Maybe.
Like I see my doctor in December, so I'll probably just try to get it all done then.
I got all of mine at I got all of my shots at work and they typically just told me when there was a new one. And just how to do just be like, all right, so you want to get your booster right now? And I'm like, sure.
Will you
I'll take-
benefit from working in a place that's like semi healthcare?
I mean, I'm sure that's one part of it.
Well, like I can't
Yeah, it's a
exactly
major
go
part
into
of
the
it.
school and be like, jab me up. Like
Yeah.
they're not.
Well, I mean, it depends what kid you're talking to.
I can't walk into the post office.
Yeah,
And
like
they're not gonna have free shots for me.
yeah, like Dustin and I are not getting shots like that at work.
Yeah, like I should be getting I can get my I get my flu
Although-
shot there every year.
I think I can get the flu shot at work. Because I
You might be.
think they offer it to all the kids, and I think it's also open to staff as well.
That makes sense.
But that's usually not until flu season, which is usually, if I remember, like November. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep you updated on that.
Hey man, I
Yeah,
think
give
about
me-
this a lot now. Being
Okay.
a mailman.
Yeah,
How do your
what's up?
residents get mail?
They
Dragon.
drop off the mail.
They just give it to like someone at the front desk or something,
Yeah.
and then they hand it. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like sometimes there's like Amazon packages and stuff.
Yeah.
The
What's up?
residents do this classic thing where they always like to wait for everything like way from in advance. Like you tell them that like, oh, mail pickups at 3, and there'll be someone's like looking in the window at 2:00. They do it for like meal service all the time. Until I realized that I just had the authority to just keep the door closed and tell them that they couldn't come in. And everyone's been doing that since.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah. And then they all just and then you open the door and they just like come in like waves. Like it's like zombies that just broke through a barricade. Because they think if they sit down first, they're gonna get fed first.
Like fast running zombies or slow walking?
Those slow kind that have like walkers and wheelchairs.
It'd be very impressive if they suddenly started running.
I'd be like,
They would have
that's
zombies.
insane.
Well, just because they're deaf doesn't mean they can't run.
They're old.
They're also elderly.
I know some old people who can move pretty quick.
Yeah,
Dude, Bernie Sanders at the anime convention.
What?
bro, I could move fast. I could beat Bernie Sanders in a race. I think.
My
It
grandfather.
was like a meme in 2016, I think, where Bernie Sanders was running through.
Yeah, and I know.
the anime convention in Boston.
Hmm.
He went to the escalator, just started running away.
I know what you're talking about. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some people legitimately tried using that as a reason why we shouldn't have age limits in Congress.
Oh, God.
look at him
Listen, I
go.
don't care how fast he can run. I don't want him. Let him retire and run in wherever he wants.
We already did that, Grant. I'm not rehashing that.
Look, you look, we have an age limit, but you're exempt from the age limit based on your 100-yard dash. Based on your fitness gram score, you might not have to follow our new age limits.
Dustin, who's the current worst team in the NFL?
Current worst team in the NFL, probably the Cardinals.
If they can score a touchdown against the Cardinals, they're good to serve.
Oh, dude, I'd love to see that. Just some linebacker decking Mitch McConnell trying to score a touchdown. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Dude, Mitch McConnell passed the ball to Bernie Sanders. Bernie's running. He's the 50-yard line. 40, 30. But wait. Dianne Feinstein, she's coming up. She's gaining on him. And it's touchdown, Sanders.
Mitch McConnell would be the worst quarterback, as he'd receive the ball and then he'd just freeze up. He wouldn't
stand there.
He wouldn't be able to move.
Fucking McConnell gets the ball, he just stands there.
And he just gets sacked.
Just gets sacked by AOC.
Oh, that would be so great. Dustin,
Dude,
confirm.
Honestly, what? Right now, can we just settle all of U.S. politics? Democrats versus Republicans football game, and we just go for it.
Honestly, I can't think of anything more American. So
I tried to with baseball, and then someone got shot.
True. That is unfortunate.
What?
You didn't hear up on that?
What happened? What is this?
This was a couple years ago. There was a game between members of the House of Representatives, and it was some Democrats versus Republicans, and I think someone came by and shot two of the Republicans.
Oh, I remember. No, I do remember.
One of them got shot in the butt, I think.
Yeah, I think they lived, but
yeah, they lived.
Still, it was kind of what the fuck?
No, I do vaguely.
And it was especially rough because it was them doing something to show bipartisanship.
Yeah, the one time we tried it, someone had to ruin it.
Right, it's are you kidding me?
Dude, we could have had.
Not to try to not to show what party I belong to or anything, but also it was someone shooting the Republicans.
Bro is just preaching ACAB earlier, but we don't know his political leaning.
No, but fair enough. What I'm getting at though is typically the more extreme actions like that tend to be committed by Republicans against Democrats. Not always, as evidenced here, but typically.
Large amount of the times.
Right. So the fact that it was presumably a Democrat who was shooting two Republicans is are you fucking kidding us?
Maybe it had nothing to do with politics. Maybe they just really hated baseball.
There. That's an appropriate reaction to hearing that baseball.
Dude, I hate baseball. Just
you want me to watch baseball? What?
Sorry, this game is ending right now.
Dude made it 2 innings in.
I can't take 4 hours of this.
How long is a baseball game supposed to last? Well, I guess there's no time limit for baseball, is there?
There is now, actually.
There is?
There's a pitch. This season they implemented the pitch clock.
You know what? I have heard this.
And it's been making games go way faster.
So what's the average length of a game now?
Damn, I see people tweet about it so much. You think I'd remember? Let me look it up real quick.
Because I remember. I don't watch sports, as y'all know. But even when I did kind of watch sports, I always considered baseball to be the second worst sport to watch. The only one that I found even more boring usually is golf. But and the reason was it would literally be one pitch, and then a minute, and then one pitch, and then a minute, and it's holy shit, fucking do something. Compare that to basketball or hockey where there's constant action, and then football where there's a large amount of action, and then usually a 10-second break before going into more action. Those sports are a lot easier to watch.
Right. So in 2021, baseball reached an all-time high of an average game time of 3 hours 10 minutes.
That's absurd.
This season, it dropped all the way down to 2 hours 38 minutes.
Oh, that's still not nearly as much of a drop as I thought you were going to say. That's only a half-hour drop.
But this season also has a record for most games reaching less than 2 hours.
So, I mean, you know, it is an improvement.
Yes.
But it could also be much better.
Those hours are the exact same for how our D&D sessions have been going.
Yeah, pretty much. Anywhere from 2 hours 38 minutes to 3 hours 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Every year I say I'm gonna watch baseball, especially this year when they had the pitch clocks. I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it now. It's gonna go faster, and I don't.
No, not worth it. It's one of those things where, like, maybe I would go to a baseball game in person, but like,
yeah, it's really the only time it's really worth it. And even then, you're not even paying attention to the baseball game; you're just having fun in the stands.
I'd probably pay attention to the baseball game.
And there's a game going on.
At least for the first couple of nights. I don't remember if we had talked about it on the podcast because, you know, referring to something that happened back in our trip, Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if we wanted to talk about things that on the surface sounded way more interesting than they ended up being, right?
Okay.
The rodeo, right?
The rodeo. You were not particularly fun. I kind of enjoyed actually watching the rodeo.
I enjoyed it as well. Just after an hour or two, it was like I'm watching the same shit over and over again.
You were bored after like 10 minutes.
I wasn't bored after.
You can't take them anywhere.
You know, enjoyed way more than the actual rodeo though. Was like those cheerleaders they would have in intermission, like riding on those horses doing crazy tricks. I was like, I want to watch more of this. This is sick.
Yeah,
they're like riding on it sideways, doing backflips on the back of the horse. Like, yeah, more of this.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see these dudes slam baby cows on the ground, which is a thing they do at rodeos apparently, which I thought was kind of nuts. So they have this thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They have like baby cows. They start running. They have like a 2-second head start or something.
I think it was a little more than that. I think it was like 5.
Maybe something like they have some sort of head start, and basically you need to like catch it with your little loop cowboy rope thing. Lasso, yeah. You catch them with that. Then once you catch them, you gotta get off of your horse, and for whatever reason, you have to pick up the calf and slam it on the ground, and then tie its feet up, and then they time how long that process took.
Oh.
And it sucks because like sometimes these cows are like already laying. It's like, okay, I give. You don't have to, but they would like pick it up from its laying position just to slam it on the ground again.
They
it's
really.
Like, what are you doing?
They really were not holding back when they body slammed these cows.
These little baby cows.
That's sad. I like cows, man.
Yeah, dude, this is messed up.
And I remember like. The thing, they would like lose like half a point on like some of the stupidest things too.
This one showed remorse. This one showed restraint. Take 50 points off.
Oh, it would be like that. Or I think what it was like fastest to do it, but like every penalty adds to your time or something.
Yeah, there was like some penalties to it.
Yeah. It was like the rodeo was like
all over the place for all the events. It was pretty weird.
Rodeo is like I thought it was kind of boring.
Sure.
B, like, where's PETA in all this? Like, if there was
ever not time, like losing their minds at this.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to actually complain about like animal cruelty, like, I feel like a rodeo might be it.
And how about you ride this extremely pissed off bull? Let's not talk about how he got us so angry. But
yeah, let's not talk about how he got it that angry. But...
Damn, that's good.
Oh, and by the way, that extremely pissed off bull, yeah, when it does what it's naturally inclined to do, which is, you know, attack someone, we're actually gonna just kill it and put it down before it actually does.
Yeah, we don't want anyone getting hurt.
Oh yeah,
we
it would
do
be. Yeah, of course not. No, no one can get hurt.
You don't want this evil cow hurting anyone.
No, so we'll have a fucking shotgun ready to put it down just in case.
Yeah, just in case it, that is insane.
I'm not a big advocate for animal rights. I will continue to enjoy eating meat, but like, fuck off with that. Like, the one thing I've always made clear is, like, I do not support hunting of any kind unless you're basically using the parts of the animal for something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like, oh, we're eating the animal, even if it's just like, oh, we're using the skin to make a vest or whatever, that's fine. Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, like, don't just kill things for sport. I will say, the other exception I will say is if it's basically, like, considered vermin. In that, like, they just are so overpopulated that, like, the population needs to be culled down. Because sometimes that is genuinely the case. But, like, not often.
This is why the animals hate us.
This is definitely, yeah.
We do stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, the worst animal on the planet by far is humans. So.
I don't know. It might be sea otters.
Definitely not sea otters. That's
did
crazy.
You hear, Dustin? Did you hear about the sea otter that attacked like three women?
No.
Oh God, you need to look it up. It was
I was gonna say, you're not gonna talk about it.
Well, no, because you should see the pictures of like what the sea otter did to him. It's insane. It was just like three like ladies. They were like floating in the. I think it was in. I want to say it was like Michigan. I want to say. I don't know.
The sea otter doing a mission. Oh my God, her face.
Yeah, you right. They were just floating, and then I guess the sea otter was like, "All right, well, you're in my territory now. I'm going to defend myself," and it basically got like passed around. Like what it would be attacking one, they'd get it off, and then it would start attacking the other one.
Can you send me a link, Dustin? Honestly,
like it's.
I'm just looking at. I just googled sea otter attacks 3 women. I'm looking at Google Images. I don't know if this is.
I'll just Google it.
It probably is. It's
yeah.
It wasn't too long ago. It's like maybe last month. But no, there's a lot of stories going around of like animals. Like
looks like it was in Montana.
Montana,
Montana, Michigan, same difference. God damn.
But like, and they weren't even doing anything. It just like got mad.
Dude, the animals are crazy.
That being said, I'm looking at this.
So cute.
I'm looking at this one picture of a sea otter, and it looks fucking mean. Hang on, no, I'm posting this picture.
Is it the one where he has like a fish in his mouth like a cigar?
No. Hang on, I'm posting this one. This sea otter just looks mean. Look at it.
That's kind of cute. Like he looks mean, but that's a cute face.
it almost looks like a cat hissing, actually.
Yeah, he's hissing.
It's like a really cute cat hissing, and you're like, oh, what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna get angry.
But still, cat hissing tends to... Still, a cat hissing tells me, hey, mean cat. Doesn't mean I'm gonna, not pet it. I'm still gonna pet it, but like, when it scratches my face up, I deserve it.
Yeah, like my cat.
Yeah.
Another interesting animal story. I think it was like a hawk dropped a. I think it was a hawk dropped a snake into like a power plant.
Okay.
Or it was a fish. Basically, a hawk like sabotaged like a power plant somewhere, and they were trying to figure out what caused it to like have problems, and they found just like a dead fish like nowhere near water. So they theorized that like a hawk must have just like air bombed a fish or a snake or something into it. It's like the animals are fighting back. Like it's no longer. We might not be at the top for much longer, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, a few months ago, those whales are just attacking boats so often.
Oh, True, yeah, those too.
And then people look and it's like, no, wait a second. The whales are actually teaching each other how to attack boats.
Yeah.
Okay, this is getting crazy.
Dude.
I
We've all
told
been
Rob
so
about,
preoccupied about aliens taking over. We forgot about the species on our own planet.
I told Rob about this, but Dustin, have you heard about the like the wild hogs in Germany?
I don't think so.
So they originally thought that these hogs are all radioactive,
Okay.
right? They are radioactive. You can't eat you can't get the meat in Germany. Like it's getting really scarce because they're basically all radioactive and it's inedible. And I guess originally they thought it was because of Chernobyl. But it turns out it was more just like aerial weapons testing.
Okay.
And basically a bunch of animals got like radioactive for a while. But they I don't know, they got better. It kind of wore out. Except for the hogs, because like the radioactivity would like go into the dirt and it would sink down, but they would dig up truffles and eat it again. And then they would, and then they, release it, and then it would sink down again into the dirt, and then they'd keep eating truffles. So they just keep refreshing their their radioactivity cooldown, and they're just radioactive, and they start attacking people. So you get attacked by radioactive hogs in Germany, and this is just a thing that exists in the world now, and there's nothing we can do about it. So now they've got buffs. There's now like different. It's like different types of Pokemon. These are the like they got power ups.
That's poison type.
Yeah, they got power ups now. So I feel like there's an animal war coming pretty soon. And I don't know if I'm prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What's the stat that it's like? I feel like it was like kangaroo. Was it kangaroos? It was some animal that's like, oh, you know what? It was like a small cunt. No, it wasn't the world, but it was basically like, what was it? It was like everyone in this country to fight like this amount of this animal, like they'd each have to fight like 7 of them in order to because they're outnumbered. So it's like everyone in this area would have chickens. It may have been something like that, but it was basically like everyone in this like country or this area would have to fight this absurd number of animals in order for it to if they were to go to war, and they didn't think I don't think they had it in them. So I feel like that if we had to go against all the animals in a war, I don't think how many animals would we each have to take, and how do we divvy it up?
All right, so I will take one for the team, okay?
Yeah.
And I will take the majority of the animals. So I will fight all the bugs.
Okay,
you're dead.
You're dead. You're dead as fuck, man.
Just send them in one at a time.
Just send them in one at a time.
You're not taking them one.
This dude's taking one of the plagues. He's willingly taking one of the plagues.
Dude, there's billions of bugs.
I think there's something in the Bible about this.
And you just set the field ablaze and they're dead.
Yeah, okay, man.
I'm just saying coordinated bugs and they all go after you.
Bugs are not that coordinated.
Not until
I think in a situation where in a war against them, they have to be.
Not until they're radioactive and start getting real smart.
All right, if they're working together, then you're right. I'm not fucking.
Every square inch of you being covered by a fly.
That's not even, and that would even be a fraction. Your surface area is nothing. I will take every microorganism, every single-celled.
Not barely. No, not at all. I'm not allowing that.
Yeah,
we're not fighting microorganisms. Get out of here. I was gonna be realistic. I would take all the chipmunks.
Okay, again, there's no way you're taking all of them.
I just have to walk. He can't
Don't
jump
you-
that far.
Don't you remember when Fanning nearly lost to one squirrel?
Wow, it's 2 squirrels.
You're taking one chipmunk? You're taking all the chipmunks?
Yeah, chipmunks are different from squirrels.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay. Well, so what do you do? All right. So what do you do when 3 of them start singing and start distracting you?
Well,
And then
that's
the
just
rest of them
You
is
that's
fucking
me.
market them as a band and rake in millions.
And then 3 female versions show up, and then I make a band of them as well. Make more millions.
Wait, was that a thing?
Yeah, the chipmunkettes.
Yeah.
No,
Or chipettes,
stop.
my bad.
That's
Chipettes.
really a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the female version of them. You didn't know that?
No. Alvin and the Chipmunks is something I've never given a shit about, so.
And then there's... Nah, I'm not gonna say it.
What?
Yeah, it's a meme.
Oh wait.
Trusted.
Oh, the who's getting the
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's
Yeah, I know
getting
what you
the
mean.
what?
No, you're too young.
Fuck off.
We'll explain it to you when you're older.
I'm the oldest
Yeah.
one here. I'm the oldest here. Fuck off with that.
Yeah, it's too much. It'll be too much for you in your
Yeah.
boomer in your
Okay.
old brain.
Right.
Irritating brain. Isn't 25 the age where you're like officially start dying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Fun.
Something like your not
Your
your
cells
brain,
die
like-
faster than they regenerate or something.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I always used to say I would never make it past 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
And I'm
lied.
here. And I'm here.
Yeah, you're here.
I don't know how to feel about it. Honestly, guys, I didn't think I'd make it this far.
Fair enough.
I have
Yeah.
no I have no plans for the podcast because I thought it was gonna have to stop after I died.
I remember you used to say that a lot a couple of years ago when like, yeah, I'm not making it past 25. I
I'm not
thought you were
making it
making like a suicide joke. Because that's what like suicidal people say is like I can't see myself making it past X age.
I'm not making it past 25. I think it
Yeah,
was mostly
I showed you like what'd I show you? It was I'm blank. It was some cute Pokemon thing or something. It was like a real cute thing, and I showed it to you like, hey, you think you make it past 20? Is this gonna help make it past 25? And you had to explain to me the joke you're making. You're like, no, I can't imagine myself past 25. I was like, oh, I thought you wanted to kill yourself.
I picked the day ahead of time. I'm like, you know what? That sounds like fair try. That's a solid effort. That's the old college try.
Honestly, though, like, I've said this before, I think, and if I haven't, then I'm gonna say it again anyway, because I want to make sure that there are at least several people who know this, and that there is recorded proof of me saying this, okay? If there's ever an accident that happens to me, right?
Yep.
And I'm paralyzed from the neck down, just kill me,
Nah.
please.
Nah, because you can still play D&D.
You have a podcast to record.
And you still have a podcast to record. Sorry.
What if I don't want to record a podcast?
Nah,
You didn't
well, I
ask if
mean,
you want to.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think you're really
50 something
going.
episodes in. When did we ever ask you if you wanted to?
I don't think you're-
several months before the pilot.
Yeah, and then we stopped.
I think back in like April of 2022.
You signed a lifelong contract,
Yeah.
I didn't sign shit.
Yeah, you
a
did.
verbal signature.
Mhm.
Nah.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, Rob, immediately correct me after I say this if you want to enter a lifelong commitment to the podcast. And then I said something wrong, you immediately corrected me. So I was like, oh, there you go. It's
Nah,
true.
you're almost correct.
See?
What you mean to say is you said something correct and I corrected you into something
Yeah.
wrong. And then 6 months later.
You were like,
So
turned around on it.
work, right?
I hate it.
One of the things that I was not
Work sucks. I know. God.
one of the things that I was not ready for work, although in hindsight it kind of makes sense, right?
Mhm.
I got an email. I forget if it was today or yesterday. where it was a heads up about a new product that has just come out. And this product is a vape. All right.
Okay.
It's a new flavored vape, and it's sold online. And the website makes it clear that it is definitely for 21 or older, right?
Yeah.
But if that's the case, why the fuck is their whole brand dedicated on making these vapes look like highlighters?
Because it's intended for 21 wink and older wink.
Yeah. Yeah. That literally, so if you look up, hang on, what's the name of the website? I think it was highlightlife.com.
Highlight my life.
No, it's something like that.
Yeah, highlight vape.
Yeah, it's literally just highlightvape.com. Like the email sent a link to the website so teachers could see what they looked like. They literally look just like a highlight.
That is disgusting.
Like,
that is awful.
Why is this
I
a thing?
hope these people burn to death in the building.
Yeah. Like, this is not okay. Like,
Also,
yeah,
highlight.
Yeah?
The typical brand of highlighters is called Highlight.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how they're getting away with this.
Want to break their skulls off in Minecraft.
I genuinely don't know how they're getting away with this.
Oh wait, that's insane.
Yeah, are you looking at it now?
Yeah, they look highlighter. It says rechargeable,
Yep.
400 puffs. What the?
Yep. So that's why we got emails about it saying, "Hey, now we have to be worried about kids with highlighters,
rectangular highlighter,
to make sure that it's actually a highlighter and not a vape in disguise."
And it's like, oh, dude, you see your kid? You see a kid in your class, like sucking on a highlighter, and you're like, I really hope I really hope he's just sucking on a highlighter.
I had a kid.
What's going on, teachers? Right there.
I had a kid earlier this week. This happened earlier this week, where a kid walked up to me and was like, "Hey, can I borrow a Sharpie?" And whenever a kid asks for a Sharpie, my immediate response is, "Why?" And they said because they needed to write their name on their folder. And I thought that made sense. I hand him the Sharpie. He sits down at his desk. He writes his name on the folder. And then I proceed to watch him literally sniff the Sharpie in front of me.
Like, just like a quick little, like...
No, not quick. No, he was doing like a 4-second huff. And I was like, "Dude, give me the Sharpie." And he's like, "Sorry, I just like the smell of it." I'm like, "Yeah, sure you do. Fuck."
Yeah, sure. You just like the smell of it.
Are you kidding me? Like, last thing I need is kids getting fucking high on Sharpies in my math class.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Welcome to the middle school.
Did we do that?
I mean, did we? No.
Some kids did, definitely.
Some kids did, yeah. But did we? No. I can tell you, I was not... The only thing that I will say that I was guilty of as a kid is despite knowing how bad it was for you,
murder.
I fucking loved the smell of gasoline.
Oh, dude, I love the smell of gasoline.
But, like,
amazing.
Are you, like,
I wouldn't go...
gasoline?
I wasn't... Yeah, no. No, but, like, when my parents would fill up gas and I was in the car, the window would often be down. And so you would smell the gasoline, and I would smell it, and I'd be like, "Damn, that smells good."
Yeah, you just go to a gas station and be like, "Wow, it smells nice here."
But no, I wasn't exactly going out of my way to huff gasoline.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you're using a Sharpie and you happen to breathe in, you're like, "Damn, that smells good." You know, I'm not gonna judge you. Fuck it. When you're basically sticking it up your nose to smell it, that's where it becomes a problem.
Bro.
Yeah.
Do you actually you don't get high from that, do you? Can you?
From Sharpies?
Yeah. Is that a real thing?
I think you get a light high.
Yeah, it's like a little baby thing that happens after you sniff it.
Yeah, it's like a very, very minor thing, but it's still
Yeah, it's not like
good for
sniffing it.
you.
It's not like taking a sniff of a Sharpie's gum, like smoking a joint or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I
Is
think
it kinda-
gasoline is way worse. Also,
Is it kind of like those like you ever see those like nasal things like menthol things that are like supposed to like clear your sinuses? Even if you do
yeah,
them a lot, kind of like those maybe.
maybe I'm not positive.
This is
Obligatory. None of us are doctors.
just in case someone wanted to make sure they avoided it at all cost.
Mhm.
If someone really wanted to avoid getting high off Sharpies, what would be like how could they make sure they don't do it correctly? Like I need to know the steps of doing it, so I know that I don't do them correctly.
Matt,
What's up, man?
I want you to tell Dustin a story because
All right. So
no,
when
no, no,
I
no,
was a young boy,
no, a
my
specific thing.
father took me into the city to
Whoa,
see
whoa,
the
you have a
Martian
dad?
Man.
Hey, that's not right.
At one point, funny enough, at one point I did.
All right, but no. So almost a week ago, we were playing Baldur's Gate,
About a week.
Yeah.
and the funniest shit I've ever seen in a video game happened, and it was because of you.
Oh yeah. I know.
I
All
want you,
right.
I want you to talk
Yeah,
about this
so,
because I think you're gonna tell this better than I ever could.
So do you remember Emperor's New Groove, Dustin?
I remember it slightly.
Do you remember the scene where there's like Yzma and Kronk or whatever his name was?
Mhm.
And she was like, pull the lever, Kronk.
Yeah.
And then she pulls it and she
Wrong
like
lever!
wrong lever. So we're in this combat trying to save I think like a druid or something
I think
that's been taken by gnolls. Our goal is to save them. And they are being held to they're being tied to a windmill. And the windmill is going around.
Okay.
around and around and around
And
it goes.
I am told that to get them down, we have to go into the windmill. And once I get into the windmill, I am pointed to a lever. That I'm told is what I need to do to get them down from this place.
Right.
I beeline it like during combat. I just beeline it straight there.
That's so bad. It was like I want to rescue this druid as quickly.
Yeah,
as possible.
I'm like I'm just going. I'm like I think everyone's got it. I'm gonna get them down. What I didn't realize was that when they pinged the lever, there were actually two levers right next to each other that look completely identical. So I just clicked the one that I saw, and then we're greeted to this little mini cutscene where there's like a little speck just starts flying across the screen through the sky. As the druid took off like Team Rocket is what I'm trying to say. Dude flew.
What's the one that lever make it go super fast?
That's what I'm saying. He actually didn't get that far. It looked like he went the cutscene made it look like it went way farther than he actually did, because we found the body fairly close by. But basically what happens is, I think it was either Georgia or Fanning pinged it. I start my turn, and then Georgia goes, wait. And before he can even finish it, I've already clicked the button, and he's gone flying. And I was like, what? I'm like, and of course, yeah, when you hover over it, one does say release, and one says release, and one says stop.
Oh.
So they did this on purpose, which I think is a beautiful thing. 100% they did this on purpose. Because, release, that is what I want to do. No. So I think we kind of just lost that quest. I don't really remember what the repercussions are for that.
The druid was gonna get the worm out of our ear, I think, or something. Dustin, can you watch my screen for a quick sec?
Sure.
Gorp?
Are you there?
I'm here.
Are you showing him the...
Yeah. I'm showing him the cutscene.
This was fine.
It just goes flying. It's just so absurd. The best part is that, like, the four of us playing, me, Matt, George A. Fanning, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all had, like, very different roles in this. So George A. 100% knew that there were two lovers. And he was going to warn Matt, but then I forget if Matt... I think Matt was just too quick. Because what George A. was gonna say was, Matt, we should save the game, and Matt, you should pull the lever that releases him. Instead, Matt just pulled the lever that releases him. Then there's Matt, who's pulling the lever, not knowing any better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's me, where I'm in the combat, and I saw the lever that was pinged, but I never saw the second lever. But as soon as George A. said, wait, in my mind, I'm like, oh, is there a second lever that releases him? So as soon as the cutscene happens, I'm like, no shot, that just happened. And then there's Fanning, who I think was just in disbelief over what just happened as well. It was one of the funniest things that I've seen in a video game in a long time.
Dude, I'm gonna say something about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah?
Yeah.
These goddamn save scumming people.
I am on your side on this one, man.
Dude, we get into do I do some? I do one thing.
On our side. I think it's more fun.
I do one thing. I start. Maybe I accidentally start combat with one person, and this guy is like, "Oh, fine." Reloads the most recent save, and I'm like, "No, bro, let me have consequences."
This guy being fat.
I'm like, bro, let there be consequences. I'm like, I don't do this for y'all.
This is also exactly why we do that. So in our last time we played Baldur's Gate, right, Dustin?
Yep.
So essentially what had happened was we were in and if I say something wrong, Matt, feel free to jump in and correct me. Because I was only there for the second. But we're in this, like, town, right? Mm-hmm. And we're just kind of exploring the town, and then my game crashes. And that's important to the story for a reason. So while my game is rebooting, the three of them go inside of this, like, what is it, like a temple?
Yeah, basically.
They go in this temple. And for God knows whatever reason, George A. decides to kill, like, a priestess or something.
The biggest, most important person in this
temple.
Like,
the most important person in this temple. And they do it, in broad view of, like, all the guards, and B, at the back end of the temple, okay?
Yep.
So the next thing they know, the three of them are in a combat against what? Like, how many enemies did you start off against? Like 13?
We had like 12 or 13.
So, while they're all doing that, I'm getting back in the game. And I think Fanning wanted to reload, but you guys convinced him to, let's just play it out.
Yeah.
So, none of us expected for them to survive that. So, I get back in, and I'm still outside the town. I'm not in the temple at all. And I'm like, guys, should I join in the combat? And they're like, nah, it's probably not worth it. Probably because they're thinking, we're going to get rolled in a second anyway, and we're going to have to reload. So, whatever. Just wait. So then I'm waiting, and waiting. And eventually I got bored, and I'm like, I'm going to join you guys in this temple. I enter the front door, Dustin, and all of a sudden I'm in a separate combat from them against 7 enemies of my own.
Oh, no.
So, the good news for me is that I play a rogue in Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
So, what I was able to do is use my action to dash, use my bonus action to dash, use a second bonus action to dash, and I'm just sprinting towards them in the far back. Just because that way at least we're together in case I get down, right?
Yeah.
But of course, every guard that is in the front of the temple, they were not attacking them at first. So I brought every other guard to them. And you know what, Dustin? After... How long do you think that combat took, Matt? An hour?
Oh, a little more than that.
Oh,
We
God.
spent
Yeah, we had like
forever
we had like
in this-
20. I think 24 was like the max we had at one point.
We spent forever in this combat and we actually fucking killed them all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somehow, it was a combination of just everyone playing smart, healing when needed, and I will say the one thing, there were a lot of enemies, a decent amount of them were like very low.
They were low level. That we were kind of in like this 3-tiered, like three-tiered building.
Like
There
a
were
three-story
multiple,
building,
yeah, but they could look. You could like look down into the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, some had to start jumping down in order to get to us.
Forgot about that.
So they would start hurting themselves on their way down, and basically they would jump down, but then it would just be the four of us right there, and one of them jumped down like right next to like right in the middle of all of us because we were all in the same part, and we're like, "You fucked up, dude. You messed up hard, dude. What are you doing?" You know,
The other
there was some ranged ones, and I had casted my spiritual weapon, and I had just left my spiritual weapon in the open, and a lot of them just were like, "That's my target. I gotta get that one." So that absorbed a lot of the hits.
The one really convenient thing too is that as a rogue, I'm mostly taken on the form. Actually, so as a quick aside, what I've realized is that my Baldur's Gate character is very likely going to become the blueprint of my next D&D campaign character. But basically, they are someone who's doing a lot of attacking from a distance with bow and arrow. And that's convenient because the rest of the party, either they are heavy on magic, meaning they only have a certain number of spell slots, or they exclusively do close range. So, like, there were a lot of enemies where, like, I was the only one who could hit them, and I was, like, consistently one-shotting them because I was within 5 feet of an ally, so I had sneak attack bonus. So, like, it was just going so well.
Yeah, the whole time we were like, "How are we still here?"
I mean, it got to the point where, like, even though, like you said, you guys started against, like, 12 or 13 enemies, I don't think a single one of us actually got downed until, like, the last 2 enemies.
Maybe? That might be right.
Unless one of the 3 of you got downed before I joined.
That may have happened.
Because anything that happened while I was not in the temple, I really kind of only half understand what happened. So.
Yeah. It was a pretty good time.
No, it was hilarious.
Shout out to Baldur's Gate for making like 20-person initiatives like feasible.
Dude, the way that they handle the initiatives is so awesome.
Potentially do something like that if we were in person, but like online D&D, like I could never handle that.
The only way I think you would be able to do something like that in person would be if, first of all, you wouldn't be rolling damage. You would just take the straight up average.
Yeah, or something around there.
And then secondly, you would basically just like do like one. You would just like move person, roll, deal damage. Move person, roll, do damage. Like you would have to do it so quick.
Yeah, and they'd be all be like a lot simpler.
Honestly, I think, I think this says something more about us as players than you as a DM. Is you could run like 12 enemies against us, Matt, and I think you would take all 12 of their turns faster than we would take our turns.
Oh, yeah. I'd also, one necessary thing I'd have to do is take all your phones. Which is one reason why I know this would never work online. Because the moment y'all turns are done, y'all tabbing out.
I usually figure out what my next turn's going to be, and then
and I'm like, hey, I'm attacking you now because things can happen on turns that aren't yours. And you're like, what? Huh? What? Huh? Me?
I'm really pretty.
My God. Hey, you know what?
Even if I'm tabbed out, I'm always 100% listening and understanding what's going on. Matt's laughing because I know I just bullshitted that. I know I bullshitted that.
Not even through any fault. I don't think it's through any like malice or anything. But do you know how often it's like I re-explain things because you just look. I like it a lot better than like if I like it a lot better than if you were just playing up not listening and ignoring it. But sometimes, like, you'll be in the middle of something and you'll be like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, we've all been operating under this information.
Like the third time we re-say something, you'll be like, wait, what? I didn't know that. Wait, oh, that changes everything.
It's like, yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I think I like the way that Baldur's Gate does the and I don't know if this is like an optional role or something, but I like the one where it's if you're next to each other in initiative, you can all take your turn at the same time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I might see if that works out. That might work for us, perhaps. I'm not sure. Or maybe you guys can take it in whatever order you want, not necessarily at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something to think about, but I don't know exactly how it would work. Alright. Should I go on rant number 2 now?
We're not on number 2?
Yeah, I wanted to space my 2 rants out. Okay.
Oh, all right, yeah.
So this is less of a rant and more of a I want to know your thoughts on this. Okay. So, as I said earlier in this I don't know if I actually said it. No, I didn't say it in the podcast. I said it to Matt before the podcast. When I got home from work today, I was surprised to find my nephews at my house. So
they've been missing for weeks.
Yeah, months.
They just kind of showed up.
But no.
Bronson's ripped, by the way. I don't know what happened.
I was talking with my sister, and at one point she was looking at my nephew, and she had shown him, I guess, a book that he likes, which is his truck book. All right.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, he has a truck book? And she said, yeah. So she showed me it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I shit you not, half the things in this book, I kind of have a problem with them calling it a truck. So I need to ask y'all, I'm going to do a quick rundown. Okay. I need to know what's a truck and what isn't a truck, okay?
Oh, boy.
Because the first thing that they fucking had as a truck was a bulldozer.
Okay, that's reaching. Wait a second. Let me get a good look at a bulldozer.
No, it's not a truck.
That's not a truck.
That's construction equipment or destruction equipment.
So let me think here. What were the things that they showed? In no particular order, we saw a what did I just say? A bulldozer.
Yeah.
We saw a fire engine, which is a fire truck. That's fine. An ambulance.
Okay.
Kind of not
that.
sure. I kind of said that that's like a van truck hybrid.
Sure, yeah. But I found it being in the truck book.
We saw a mail van.
Mail truck.
That's really called a mail truck?
Yeah.
I've always heard it as a mail van.
I've never heard mail van in my life.
No, it's mail truck.
Okay. Trying to remember. There was some other weird. There was a dump truck on there, which fine.
I'm
I'm
starting to think this is a pretty decent truck book.
No, I asked my sister if I could borrow it, but unfortunately it's with my nephew and he's asleep right now. So like I can't show you guys all the ones in the book. There were some weird ones though that I was like, that's not a truck. That's a truck. I wish I could remember them more now. Fuck, I should have written them down earlier.
It's like a Volkswagen.
I will. You know what? I'll be the one to say it. I'll put a pin in this, and we'll circle back next week. And I will get it. I will get the list of trucks because I'm telling you, there were more that I thought were questionable.
Go get it. Go take it from him.
Like I said, he's asleep right now, and he was having a hard time falling asleep. So I
do some Indiana Jones stuff.
Huh?
It's the perfect time.
Just slip it out of his hands and put in the Communist Manifesto or something. I don't know.
Indiana Jones it.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. Oh my goodness.
I think dude, I'll come over and do it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You'll walk over right now and do it.
Yeah. You're stealing a book from a baby?
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's going to be really easy. That's why they have the saying, sending candy from a baby, because it's easy.
Well, yeah, it's easy. The question is, could you do it without waking the baby up?
I don't give... What am I going to do? It's not my kid. I don't care if it starts crying.
Not my nephew. That's your problem, but I don't care if it wakes up.
I don't care.
Goodness.
I'll be like, hey, bud, I'm stealing your book.
Even though he is pissing me off, because every time I hold him, he like scratches at my face, grabs the hair and pulls. He's mean.
Are you sure you don't have a cat?
Barry sounds pretty
cool. I
do
have a cat as well. My cat's a lot more chill.
I think your other nephew is a cat.
Nah.
No, he's an axolotl.
Nah.
Are you sure? Have you checked?
Yes.
You're sure? Okay.
I'm positive. Human.
Okay. Dustin, we need to go check. I don't trust him.
Yeah. I don't know. You might be able to speak on this, Dustin, because you're
a parent.
No, but you were what? You had to have been like, so Bronson's almost 2. So when your sister was almost 2, you would have been what, like 13?
12, yeah.
So I don't know if this is just like when kids are young, like the weirdest things will happen and you just don't question it, right?
Sure.
Matt? So like I'm sitting in the living room today and in walks my nephew, no clothes on at all, holding a measuring cup full of blueberries. And I'm just like, what is going?
That's just an odd situation.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
and you kind of like, you got blueberries there, bud? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's right. You said that. You say that again, and then they walk away. You're like, damn, I do not know what's going inside their head.
Yeah, I don't know. We got clothes on shortly after that, but
it's like it's like when a kid just like takes your hand and like is leading you somewhere, and you're like, son of a bitch, I'm in.
Do you? I wish my nephew was old enough for that.
I don't
Instead,
know. It's like
Instead, I basically have to kidnap my nephew and hold him tight in order to have any quality time with him.
you may. I think it's a cat. I think your nephew is a cat.
No, I'm talking about Bronson this time.
I think they're both cats.
Yeah. Both my
You're
nephews
just
are just
you're
cat.
you're just describing cats, bro.
I understand I'm maybe describing cats, but I assure you, they are not a cat.
That sounds like someone who'd be in denial about their nephews being cats would say.
Look, not all cats are bad.
I never said this anything. I never said they were bad.
Oh, okay.
This is how my cat asks. My cat hates me, and I still love my cat.
Oh, my cat loves me.
But
Oh,
they sound like cats. So I think you need to get that checked out.
Well, maybe.
Like, do they go like meow?
No, not really.
Because that's a pretty common sign.
I don't believe they do.
Do they like jump really high?
Bronson likes jumping a lot. I wouldn't say he jumps high.
Do you randomly find them like? Do they seem to exist in both horizontal and vertical space?
Now that I think about it, Bronson does like to get himself into very, like, tight corner spaces.
Yeah, they're cats, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah, you're convincing me.
Yeah, you have cats.
You
bro.
got two nephews that are cats and one that's an axolotl.
Wait, where'd
What?
the third one come from?
What his dream? Wasn't his nephew an axolotl?
Oh, yes! Yeah!
Oh,
yeah, that's why I kept saying it.
Oh,
You
Is
guys
this a
thought I was
dream?
losing my mind.
I just thought you were making a joke about Axolotl, and I was not questioning it. I was like, okay, sure. Why not?
No, call back.
Ah, the old callback.
That's a callback.
Dude.
Yo,
You
know what I think would-
Calling back, girl?
You know what I think would be cool?
What?
Is you know how like in Minecraft when you see another person, it has like their name over their head?
Yes.
I wish I could do that with people
Mm.
and have like
You
Get,
reminded
like-
me of something.
get like basic. I want to like be able to get like a basic information sheet of any person by looking at them.
I forget if this was last week or the week before, but do you remember how we talked about having a superpower that's not used to fight crime?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was
What would it
last
be?
week. And I
Yeah,
never got
so-
to say mine, so I'm
All
saying it now.
So what's yours?
I want what I just said.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want to get like basic information. I want like I don't know, like what you might find on like a driver's license. But that way I just know all of this information about people.
It's really funny that that's yours, because I realized the other day, I don't know why it suddenly occurred to me. I forget what I said last week, but I want to change my answer. And what I wanted to change my answer to was something very similar to that, Matt, which was whenever someone introduces themselves to me for the first time, I just always remember their name from then on. I will always recognize them. I will know that their name, and I just learn names.
Are you
Because-
having difficulty knowing your students' names? Is this where this
Yes.
is going?
I'm doing better than I thought I would, but I still don't. I'm like slowly learning, but it's not the easiest. I was just never good at learning names. Yeah, that's where I'm at in life. Oh boy.
I want like names, like name, age.
Social
what?
security number.
Throw pronouns in there.
Yo, throw
That's
pronouns in
boring.
there? Sure, why not?
Just don't tell the fucking Just don't tell like the fucking Starfield people.
Oh my god.
pronouns.
My immersion.
Absolutely.
I love that video so much because he's talking about being taken out of the immersion of his fantasy world, and I'm like, bro, you are in the character creator.
He's crying about Professor Oak asking you if you're a boy or a girl.
Really? It's like, where have you been immersed? You've been in a menu, dude. You have 10 minutes in the game. What are you talking about, your immersion? I'll leave, everyone else is talking, everyone else is like, dude, this guy is bigoted and transphobic and whatnot. And like, yeah, that's true. But also, he's just an idiot.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he talking about, your immersion? On top of being a terrible person, you're just dumb.
Yeah.
When did video games get political?
Oh, the moment that you introduce pronouns, of course. I mean, pronouns are such a political topic.
They were always apolitical before that. Never a political video game before
Never a political video game.
Dude, politics in my video game? No shot.
Never happened.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is just a shooting game with guns and nothing more.